there, Theresa here from theresamonro.com, and welcome to October. I'm excited because this is my birthday month, so, for some of you that are sensitive, you'll notice like a couple weeks prior and a couple weeks after your birthday, it's a slightly different energy. Anyway, it's a really fun time. It's also a time of harvest, so, and my name being, associated with the harvest, it's a good time. So speaking of which, as we get into this, I want to spray the abundance spray. And this is for me, and this is for you. May it bring in much abundance for you and cleanse and shield. So we're going to keep this sacred, spray you as well. And let's see, Ganesh wants to come in. This is important because we've been, there's a Ganesha spray now. He has been wanting to assist quite a bit with removing of obstacles. And we're going to get into talking about some of that here in a minute. So here's Ganesha's energy present. You just spray the art field with it. My personal favorite one that I made, it's kind of a, I don't know, they like to make jokes about these things. These are most of the sprays sitting back here. But one of them is the Make-A-Wish spray. So go ahead, make a wish. So it's sort of like, they joked and called it the godmother spray, or the fairy godmother spray, or the spray, like it's like every day's your birthday, every day you have a cake with candles and you make a wish and this comes true. It helps so much, even the littlest thing where I had an energy headache the other day and I sprayed it. I was like, please make this go away. So I was in a hurry and a little bit lazy about doing some energy work, and I just was focusing on something else, needed to get somewhere, poof, and it disappeared. So that was really nice. But anyway, how was your September? Welcome to October's energy. I hope you're noticing that there's a bit of a shift this month, and so just feeling into that. The full update is on Vimeo, by the way, and the link is down below for that, along with the links to sprays if you want some, an extra tangible way to work with the rays of light and the beings of light and healing and things like that. And some of them are really fun. They're trying to put an emphasis nowadays of, making healing more enjoyable, because I've noticed, like, a friend of mine went, and I think I've told this story before, went and spent like $500 with a healer, and he was in so much physical pain. I thought, interesting, okay, how many people are going and spending money on things that hurt, versus I find like the rays of light tend to be pretty gentle, or there's fun ways to heal, like laughter. Somebody who has certain astrological aspects, such as like Chiron and Taurus, is it? I think it's Chiron and Taurus. Anyway, certain people have, I think that's what it was, but anyway, I'm not too much into astrology. I read more the intuitive, energetic side of things, but there are certain people where laughter is a form of healing, and it's a way to shift the energy in the room, and it's something I really appreciate. It's a lot of fun to have people around that make you laugh, because it just instantly raises your frequency, right? In fact, there's studies about with cancer, and for people doing a more natural route, there were people that attempted to laugh every single day, and it was just such a immune boost. It's like, I don't know, it's an interesting thing. But it's interesting how things tangent through here, and I'm not even expecting things to be to be brought up. I'm like, there's an outline, this is how it works, and they're like, yeah, we have these extra subjects coming up. So into the, what is it, the synopsis, the summary for what we're going to dive deeper into in October. For the full energy update, just going to give you a little synopsis of this. September required a lot of patience, and there were moments, I think, and this happened last year too, but not quite to this degree, where we had some things coming up where we realized areas where we're just not happy. And some of that is going to take place even more intensely in October and going into part of November, particularly around relationships, but they're saying for some of you around money too, but money and relationships are often tied, as you know. But some people trying to stick around in relationships that aren't really for them. And so a lot of times they tried to take care of that in April of this year, definitely into May and June, but there's some stragglers into or some of them just had some work to do through the summer, and there's some endings. And I can sense some of you going, "Ooh," like there's a bit of a recoil with that. But if it's something that happens, it's something that you felt was possibly coming for the past couple of months or even years for some of you, and finally are just saying, okay, I deserve more happiness than this. For some of you, you made a secret wish of something you wanted to experience in a relationship, and so that is something that they're going to be providing for you soon. Like there's some of you that have deal breakers around, I have to be able to make an emotional connection with somebody. They have to have a sense of humor. They have to enjoy the water. They have to love to travel. There's things like this that it's important to pay attention to in terms of, those things. And if you don't have them, it's almost like coming to a real pressure cooker in terms of what you're willing to deal with and not deal with. But some of you have delayed the decision a little bit, and that's okay, because some of you want to make sure you're making the right decision, or you're like, how am I going to go about this so that it doesn't make a real big stink, and things like that. But just focus on what it is that you want, and the rest is going to fall away. So yeah, many people are having some discomfort coming up in multiple areas, and that it came to a real head in September. And I'm trying to think, right around mid-September, right around the 12th or 13th. And so some of that is going to be something that we're going to dive deeper into in the full energy update, where also they want to talk about the shifts in manifestation, and what's happening there. Not in how you manifest, more about the blocks of manifestation in terms of things you may be thinking or feeling. And yeah, we're going to talk deeper about that. Also, something you may find very interesting is spiritual protection. And some people are finding that spiritual protection isn't working so much for them, and there's a reason for that. We're going to dive deeper into that as well. It's so funny that we're saying diving deeper, because that's a phrase I really don't like, but they're like, let's dive deep. But I'm like, very ironic, because they're reminding me now about past fears with deep water and things like that. And yeah, water is a thing. I really love water. That's where some of you may find, like when you're in the shower, this is when you get bright ideas, or when you're in the ocean or a body of water. For me personally, okay, I see how they're tying this together. For me personally, there's been a certain type of water I've always been looking for, and it's just been like, okay, that's how I know it's a place where I'm going to be for quite some time. It's a certain color. There's a certain placidity to it, plus also like a little bit further down the beach, there's places that have great waves, but there's like a clarity to it. And so I've lived pretty much all over the world in a lot of different places. There's a couple of different continents I haven't been to, one of which I've said since I was younger that I would. And they told me earlier this year, like, it was an interesting story. I may tell you guys about how I ended up renewing my passport this year. That was fun, but I'll tell that at another time if that's something you want to know about. These stories with the angels and how they assist, and sometimes it's really can be a real adventure if you listen to them, which I feel like most of you do. But if you get this harebrained idea and you know it's of the light because of how it feels in your body when the idea comes to you, when you follow it, it can just seem like, oh my gosh, what kind of adventure is this? And at the end, it feels really, really cool. Those are probably some of the most fun adventures. But I had traveled most of my 20s all over the world. And there's some of you watching that are a little bit nomadic like that. And it's a little bit, some of you are grid workers, some of you are not. Some of you, it's just your frequency is needed in a certain portion of the planet. We talk deeper about that in the energy update. But yeah, I've gotten to live like in all the places that I've wanted to pretty much. But I always looked for this one body of water, and I have not found it. I've seen it in photos. I'm pretty sure I know where it is. But yeah, it'll be interesting to get to go travel. But being needed to be here for a certain period of time, but I can very much so feel what it feels like right before I move, because having traveled so much, which I'm super grateful for being able to do, it really opens your eyes towards different cultures and watching people like adapt to their surroundings and things is and seeing how people live is pretty fascinating. Plus, I'm somebody who really needs variety. It's just I thrive off of new experiences. So some of you are also feeling that way and wanting to travel more. We'll talk about why that is. For me, I can very much so feel, and there's other people very much so on this island talking about moving or going to do something else, or they miss traveling. I am definitely missing traveling. It's a lot of fun to pack up and get up and go somewhere, and I don't know, it's good times. So there's been some times I've done that vicariously through others. But some of you very much so needed to be where you're at, but are also feeling a need to shift and move somewhere else. It's like I used to be gone every weekend in Europe and when I was living there. And some of you are going to relate where you're like, well, I was gone pretty much every weekend, and then when you sit still for too long, it's just you get this antsy feeling, and then it's like, okay, we get to go. But there's that anticipation that some of you are feeling right now around travel and where it is you want to go move to, because a couple of friends of mine have already been told where they're going. I've been shown like what ocean area it is that I'll be traveling to and things like that. So I just, it's a waiting game for some of us in terms of timing and finances and all of that. So, yeah, interesting stuff, because I think I'm about to find where that place is with the water, and I'm not going to want to leave. So, anyway, that's just, when you guys find that spot on the planet that you know is right for you, it's awesome. They wanted me to mention, by the way, they have something called relocation astrology. And so it's super fascinating stuff. If you're ever wondering where like you can go to recharge on the planet, there are astrologers that can do that. That's not where I specialize, but I can tell you, even if you look on a map and you're like, oh, that sounds really cool, you're always been drawn to a certain area, see what you can do to make sure that you go travel there. Okay? They want me to talk about manifestation, but they want me to talk about meditation. These are things every single Sunday. If you want, or if you want to work one-on-one, we can do that. There's all kinds of visualization meditations I can teach you, which there's a cool story I may post soon about how I taught my cross-country team when I was in high school how to do visualization and for like different track meets and things, and it brought their times down. It's just fascinating stuff, but they do want to talk about getting recentered, and that there are tools that you have for that, whether it's the sprays of light, or you come work with a healer, or if you want to learn how to use the rays of light for yourself, and things like that. So I'd be happy to assist you with that. So by the way, they want me to remind you, because this is my birthday month, if you purchase the energy update, you get a discount code for my entire website that I'll give you, that's in the recording. Let's see. Lots of shifting in relationships. I'm just going over my notes to make sure I go everything with you. Oh, if you're looking for more assistance as well, you want to get into knowing what beings of light, meaning what angels and ascended masters are assisting you this month, then go and watch the Beings of Light Assisting You This Month video that is on, okay, so Ganesh is talking right now. Yeah, so they have messages. It's funny when I'm mid-sentence and they start talking, but you can go and check that out on Vimeo. The link is down below. Ganesh is one of the major ones that's assisting us this month. He's bringing in a lot more joy and a lot more shifts and things like that. If it's time to let something go, let it go. Just, there's a couple of you that have delayed making a decision, and it's like, you're going to end up looking back going, man, I could have had that happiness like 6 months ago. But don't give yourself a hard time about that. It's just some of you may be looking back once you make the decision and go, oh, why didn't I do that sooner? Or you can't always be concerned with how it's going to affect someone else. I understand the balance of being kind to a certain person about it, but also how much are you selling yourself short or delaying your own happiness because you're worried how somebody else is going to react. And there's one of you that's in the media that's like, I don't want this to turn into a complete shitstorm in the media. So Yeah, I feel for people like that when people get destructive and they don't understand that soul contracts are up. But yeah, this is mostly what we're talking about in October. Again, it's fun. Here's a Make-A-Wish, okay? So Make-A-Wish, I'm spraying it for you for October, for all of your dreams to come true. That may seem just a little too optimistic, but I'm here to say, like, you can have anything that you want, and there's just a way to go about that that's a little bit simpler. They're stating drink water. If you want, there's ways to infuse your water with healing energy and with the rays of light, and that's available on my website too. If there's something that you'd like to do to help support this work and more videos, that's, a way to go about doing that. I wish you a fabulous month. Happy October, and yeah, if you want the extended reading, be sure to go check that out. If there's somebody that you feel like would benefit from this video, please share it with them. And yeah, they're reminding me, I see what they're reminding me of. There's a new spray lineup called that I've created for the chakras, and it's the chakra bundle. And one of which you can spray over your throat is the throat spray, and it's the throat chakra spray, and it helps with clearing this chakra for speaking. It's a really great bundle. I was using it at a market yesterday with some people and testing it out, and it's amazing to feel the subtle shifts. If you're sensitive to energy, you will feel things shift for you, and it's pretty fun stuff. Awesome. So hopefully you like this video. It's good to connect with you, and so give it a like and a thumbs up. That does help quite a bit. And if there's somebody you think would like this, please share it with them. Awesome. So I'll see you on the full energy update.